Hey YouTube, welcome back to my YouTube channel, Ken Miguel Reed. Today we'll be talking about Brandon Sanderson's, one of his most recent books, Tress of the Emerald Sea, with Taylor Rice here. Today's video will be more different than the last one. It'll hopefully have more structure. We'll have a talking stick for a majority of our discussion. Plus, we're going to go into a spoiler-free review, then a review with spoilers after that. So if you want to skip ahead or end the video once we hit the spoilers, we'll give you guys a...
You can't talk if you don't have the stick.
We'll give you guys a warning prior to the spoilers. So, without spoilers, I like this book. It's my first Brandon Sanderson book. Okay, we don't... No, but this is okay.
I thought that was gonna hit our cables.
Nah. I like this book. It's my first Brandon Sanderson book. I liked it. The world building was cool. The main character, Tress, also cool. Characters,
Are we gonna do our ratings now?
mostly cool. We're just going to try not to spoil anything.
Oh, all right.
I like the ending.
Ending was good.
Ending was good. I would not reread, but I would recommend.
See, I think I would reread it, especially because it's going to be a part of an expansive series. Like, this is the first book and what's going to be a number of standalones, is what it looks like.
But
So-
connected in the same...
Yeah, so you know our narrator that we have?
Mhm.
I'm not spoiling anything, but the narrator I think is going to be a part of the next couple books. And so that's the through line. And so I do think I would reread it for that reason. Also, I think if I just needed a good smiley book, if I just wanted a sort of head empty, enjoy a nice story, cute little romance.
I can confidently say 4 out of 5.
4 out of 5. I agree with you.
4 out of 5. Confident.
4 out of 5.
Locking in.
Right now, locking in 4 out of 5.
Locking in 4 out of 5. I have to change my mind. People, I can see why people would say it's 4.5 or maybe a 5.
Solidly 4 out of 5.
Yeah, but alas.
4 out of 5s and 5-star reads really have to be one of my favorites. Really, only my favorites get those out of me. But a 4-star, I'm this is a good book. I would recommend this. I'm gonna like talking about it.
Mhm.
And I don't really like Brandon Sanderson that much. Not as as a person, but as his writing style and all that. I've read a couple of his series, and they're really just not. They lose me. He's wonderful at world building. He's amazing at world building, but his characters are normally quite lacking.
He's like the Taylor Swift, but for storytelling. Taylor Swift also is a great storyteller.
You're allowed to have that opinion.
Okay. Anything else we could say spoiler free?
If you like the movie Stardust, or the book Stardust by Neil Gaiman, I think you will really like this book. He originally wrote it for his wife as a secret project during COVID, based off of The Princess Bride, because she really liked that movie. It's one of her favorite movies. However, she gets really sad that Princess Buttercup doesn't do anything. She's wouldn't it be really cool if she actually went after him? And so he kind of wrote this book for her. So in my mind, when I was reading it, he was the love interest that our main character was trying to save, and his wife was the main character. And so that was kind of the lens I was viewing the book through. It kind of felt like a love letter to their relationship. It was really cute.
And if you like pirates, you might like it.
Lots of pirates.
Surprisingly.
Whether they're good pirates, different question. Morally.
Good pirate adventure.
And skill-wise.
All right. Spoiler warning. Spoiler warning. We are going to get into the story.
Warning.
Okay. I hate the fact that...
Oh, we're starting with hate.
Yes.
Go.
I think they should have removed the whole... Oh, but Tress isn't her real name. Her real name is Groth or Glorth.
That's so fantasy.
They could have just removed that.
There's like a whole joke in the books that people aren't called the names they're supposed to be called. Everyone is called a different name than their actual name
Like
for
the
the most part.
Dougs.
Like the Dougs.
The entire pirate crew. Half of them are named Doug,
Well, no, it's
including
not.
women.
It's not that half of them are named Doug. It's basically the thing that the narrator says is we should also establish that this is not a fantasy world. This is a sci-fi world doing a fantasy story. So there's like other universes, there are planet hoppers. The ocean that they're sailing on is not made of water, it's made of these poisonous spores because yet again, Brandon Sanderson, amazing world builder. And what he's talking about is that the name Doug is like super common on a bunch of worlds. And he's like, you don't need the narrator. It's like, you don't need to know all of their names. They're not important. So I'm just going to call all of them Doug. I'm sure a couple of them are named Doug. And then there's this really like poignant part later in the book when one of the Dougs dies. And he's like,
Paxton, rest in peace.
Rest in peace, Paxton. And then the narrator is like, they all actually have their own names and their own lives, and they're all their own people who are going to take advantage of their own stories. I've lied to you by just calling them all Dougs, but they were not relevant to the story I was telling. And so it's this moment where it's like the characters get to, their faces return to them. Because for the most part, they are just called the Dougs.
I don't know. So do you like the whole Tress wasn't her real name? That's just what they called her.
Yeah, I like that. It's very fitting for a fantasy world. I also think it's very fitting for like a small town where like somebody has their name but they're never called their name. They're called something else. Like it felt fitting.
And as for the crew, I liked all the characters except not except. I did think I would sometimes get Soleil and Anne mixed up. I don't know why. Because I think it might have been better if they were just like one person. Because I think Soleil had the backstory with like, oh, like I'm trying to save my dad, blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
And Anne was just, I don't know, she was just nice to Tress.
The Cannon Master?
No, that's,
Anne's the Cannon Master,
she was like the assistant canon.
Yeah, she was the assistant Cannon Master.
But she like, because it wasn't good.
No, the whole point is that she needed glasses, and then you just keep doing it. I'm
talking about like her character. Like she didn't have much depth to it.
So you wanted more background from her character? Is that what it was?
If Anne and Soleil were just one person, that'd be like the perfect like side character. No,
I disagree. I think they both serve their own parts. I love I love the habit you have of being like, yeah, this person definitely like contributes to the narrative and they definitely are there, but are they really necessary? Like you did the same thing with the gnome from the last book where you're like, they could have just made her a man, and it's like that defeats the whole purpose of her being a female gnome. It's the same thing here where like she's learning different lessons from the different characters on the boat, and her interactions with them humanize and like bring different amounts of information to her. And if you were to take what is supposed to be like the captain of the ship, right? If you were to take her and then also try to give her the story of like consistent failure, that's not going to go well. They have two very different like personalities and skill sets to offer. Like she needs to see that she can do something, but she also needs to see that you can be bad at something and still love it. I also like that there's no travesty behind. She just wants to learn how to shoot. Like that's the thing, is they all have these crazy ideas for her background, like why is she so into it? And she loves it for the love of the game. And I like that. I don't think you need a sad backstory to have interest. I like that she's just there for the love of the game.
Because Ford's backstory was he wanted to like do a hunt or something, right? He wanted to be like the
best hunter.
The best hunter, and that's why he wanted to, towards the end, like, oh yes, the midnight sea creatures, midnight spore creatures, whatever.
His people, they gain their like worth through having like a mighty hunt, but the definition of hunt has changed. So Ford gets his definition of hunt through like a good deal. So getting the best bargain or deal that he can, that it's a hunt he's won.
He did do trades,
too. He does trades. And so whenever he was going to the Midnight Sea, whenever he was going to the Crimson Sea, the trades and the deals that he makes with the creatures there, that's his hunt. He doesn't actually, like, hunt.
Another thing, too, I wish they would have, because they introduced the term, I might be mispronouncing it, Lunagri?
Yeah.
Lungery? I don't know how to pronounce it.
Luxury. Go ahead.
Because like they explained that in the beginning. That's like where the spores like come from the moon.
Yes.
But then I don't know what there was like a big gap from the beginning towards like when we hear it again.
So.
And then whenever I hear it again, I have to like look up. I was like, okay, I forgot what that word means in this context.
I also believe that this story takes place in Brandon Sanderson's universe, like his overarching universe. I could be wrong.
I'm pretty sure that's what he's known. Like all of his
books are in the same.
Like,
they're in the Cosmere universe.
Yeah.
And so I think some of it is like lore that is connected that you could know from other series. Like you don't need to read the rest of his books to understand it, but I do think it's part of it.
I did like the romance.
It was really cute.
It was cute. Tress and Charlie. Charlie's all like the Duke's son.
She's the window washer who comes to visit him, and he pretends not to be the Duke's son, even though they all know he's the Duke's son.
He's practicing sword fighting, but she comes in and she's like, "Oh, I'm just gardening with the sword, like in case of an attack. Like this is just how I garden." And she's like, "Sure, wink, wink." Captain Crow, I like the moment when, prior to her giving Tress to the Xysis, there was a moment when she realized, after Tress helped save the crew, how Tress is beloved by everyone. That's something she's never like experienced, or like she never had that with the rest of the crew. I thought she was gonna have
a character arc.
Yeah, that's just me though. Granted, there wasn't much left of the story, so I wasn't confident how much, if any, she would get.
I liked her ending. I thought it was really interesting. I would love to see a short story or like a spin-off story about Crow living with the dragon. So basically, Crow was the captain of the ship that our main character ends up on. And she rules through like an iron fist of fear. And she is this parasite of the spores that's keeping her alive, but also killing her at the same time. So like if you try to kill her, it's not going to work. But also the spores are killing her. And she's trying to force her crew into a life of like dead rudder piracy, which is basically if you kill somebody, you're going to go to jail for life and go to the gallows, versus if you're a pirate and you don't kill anybody, you're let off with like a much lighter sentence. And so she's trying to make sure that they've killed people and that it is known, so that they are forced to do her bidding. Because the only way she knows how to rule is through selfish fear. And basically, Tress just accidentally ends up becoming the new captain because everybody loves her and she's willing to make the correct decisions. And Crow was going to sacrifice her to the dragon, but she did not cover. I really liked that. I liked that scene a lot.
Let's talk about it.
I'm gonna let you take over on this part. Here, Talking Rock.
So they walk up. So Captain Crow brings Tress as an offering to the dragon, because the dragon grants wishes in this world, but he only grants a wish like if you have like an offering, which is like more of like a slave or like servitude. So that's what Tress was for, because she's not afraid of the spores. And
I don't think we've mentioned that the spores are mad deadly. There are 4 types of spores.
Yeah, so there's a crimson. There's the verdant ones, which is just like vines.
Yes.
The crimson one is kind of like lava, but it's right. No, that's the rosite.
That's the rosite. That turns into. In my mind, I was picturing rose quartz.
Sure. That one's one that can help seal stuff.
Yeah, it can block. Okay, let's go over the types of spores. We'll get there.
It's weird.
No, it's really cool. It is weird, but it's really cool. So you have the first type, which is the emerald sea that they refer to, which are the green spores, which essentially, if they touch water, explode into a bunch of vines. And so as you can imagine, your eyeballs have water, your tongue has water, your body sweats.
Your nose.
And if they explode on you, they just kind of like rip through your entire system. Very brutal, very cool. And so they have all of these and silver kills all of them. Then you have the red spores, which turn into basically big rock formations, which is really cool. And then you have the midnight spores, which you can turn into these shadow creatures that feed off of your water supply, and you can control them. And then I forget what the third ones are yellow. and they're like an explosion or something. I don't remember the fourth ones. They're not as important.
But anyway, back to the dragon bit. Crow like beats the crap out of Tress. Like,
Brutally.
you're gonna come with me. I'm gonna kill the rest of the crew if you don't come. And okay, she's like, okay, I'll go willingly. And then as they're both face to face with the dragon, Tress is like, okay, what can I do here? I'm Tress. She's Crow.
I have brought you this offering so that you may grant me my wish. She is not afraid of spores.
I have brought you this offering, who is great at leading people. Please grant my wish instead. I'm beat up. I'm young.
My entire crew loves her. They all wouldn't you rather have somebody around that like you is well liked and also really smart? She came up with this flare gun on her own.
She's like, I'm stupid. I don't know what I'm doing.
And they just go back and forth like this.
And the dragon's like, okay, your rebuttal. Like they can
just keep going.
Keep going. Like I want to see who's better. Like give me the better slave. And essentially, yeah, the dragon was just kind of like in it for the gossip and not the gossip,
the love
but
of the game.
love of the game.
The love of the game.
He was like, oh, this is entertaining. Like I'll see where this goes. Like I'm bored.
And then Tress eventually is like, I will keep trying to escape forever. I will be so annoying, you won't want me. And he's like, all right.
He's like, I believe you.
I believe you.
I believe you.
And he was like, I was like, she'd only be able to live for a year if I cured her anyways, if she left here. She'll live much longer if she just stays here.
Yeah, because Captain Crow wanted to be cured of the spores in her body.
Exactly. And so the dragon is like, if she wants to live a long time, she's got to stay down here with me anyways. I love how we skip over that. That's one of the biggest plot points in the entire book.
Also,
is the like failed mutiny, but then successful mutiny.
I also like the like all the foreshadowing in the beginning of the book where they introduce Tress, like, oh, like she's not like anything. She doesn't like talk to animals or like. I remember they mentioned her facing a dragon, but then the narrator mentioned that it was like, oh, we'll get there.
Yeah, well,
but that was like early too. It was like, okay, so I guess we're facing a dragon.
Really
like,
early in the story where it's like Tress doesn't think she's a part of those stories where it's like she's not one of those. This isn't one of those type of fantasy stories. And then he's like, there is a dragon, however. Do we want to discuss the narrator? I would love to hear your thoughts on that.
Okay, the narrator. I thought from the beginning of the book, I thought the narrator was Brandon Sanderson with the amount of quips,
personal thoughts.
Yes, but then once we get to the pirate stuff, we meet that one of the crew members, Hoyd, is the narrator. Which I thought cursed. Which I thought was weird. But we find out later that he's cursed by the sorceress, who is also taking Charlie hostage, which is why Tress is trying to go out to sea, save Charlie, her love. So Hoyd is cursed. He can't really talk about it because that's what the curse does. He can't talk about it, and also he lost his sense of taste. But then,
no. So here, I have it right here. I have like the exact quote for it. So essentially, I'm spoiler for like we've already said we're in spoilers, but at the end of the book, it is shown that basically the sorceress is just an alien, and like the iron alien, she's from a different planet, and like the iron tower that she lives in is shown to be a spaceship at the end of the book. And the whole reason that our narrator got cursed is because he wants the ability to have beautiful glowing skin, like radiating skin, and the only way to do that is to like make a bet and win with somebody who already has it. It's like an exclusive little club. And his whole thing was that she removed his sense of taste. But that doesn't mean like all five senses. But that doesn't mean his like eyes and mouth and ear. He's like, oh, you thought that's what I meant? No, I meant like my sense of irony, like my sense of taste, like as in like clothing. And everyone who is cursed by the sorceress is aware of it. And they know how to fix it, but they can't do anything about it. And that's like supposed to be the true agony, is like you are aware that what you are doing is stupid, but you can't do anything about it. You're trapped.
Let's talk about Ulam too. Ulam, sorry.
Right there. There's a quote.
Blah, 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 blah. 5 senses, sense of humor, decorum, sense of purpose, sense of self. Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Ah,
My note on that is I'm regrettably enjoying this book.
Blom just was like a great, like freaky scientist.
The
Like,
zombie.
give me your eyeballs, please. He has the ear on his arm, which I thought was weird. But then he also knew a lot. But also he's from another world too.
Yeah, him and Hoyt are like longtime friends, and he thinks what's going on right now is really funny. So he's like not helping his friend. He's just fucking around, following him, being like, I'm writing down all of this to embarrass him once he has regained his sense of sanity. Because the narrator is an immortal being. Apparently. We don't know a lot. So it's super interesting. But yeah, I thought that was really funny where he was like, fat lot of help he is, letting me run around like this, wearing my socks and sandals.
Do you like Charlie better as Huck, or do you like Charlie?
I think they're the same. I don't
like. Actually, we don't know enough. There's more of Huck than Charlie, so I guess it's probably.
I mean, Huck is Charlie.
Yeah, but I just thought like his mannerisms as a rat was kind of funnier.
You enjoyed him more as a rat than as a boy?
Yeah, talking about like, oh, I'm afraid of the cat, blah 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 blah. Like, I want like a tiny little pirate hat.
I loved the tiny little pirate hat. I also love that the narrator stole the tiny little pirate hat.
One thing I really liked about this book, at least, I don't know if it's just for the Kindle or if it's probably on the paperback and hardcover too, the images.
Oh, it's a beautiful book.
Like this story, there wasn't many. I would say there was like probably 10-ish. Like drawings, like depictions of like what's happening in the story at that time. Like there was one image with Captain Crow and the spores with the vines. That was kind of cool. There was a picture of Charlie with Tress. Another one of Tress walking on the spores. That was cool.
That was my favorite. I wasn't a fan of the art style, but I always love a book that has pictures. I love a fantasy book that incorporates pictures. Plain Bad Heroines is a book that is like absolutely gorgeous.
Is it also have like images too?
It does, yeah. That's what it has. It has beautiful sketches in it. The actual book itself is like a 3.5. Okay.
Let's say our favorite character in the count of 3. Okay, I got it. 1, 2, 3,
Hoyd. Ford was my second one.
Hoyd.
I really like him. I think he's funny. I love a clever guy.
I think I would keep intentionally separating him from the rest of the cast because he's a narrator.
So like we're not counting
that was for me.
Then we have the same favorite. I also had to think of a character whose name I know. I'm awful with names. Absolutely, I'm awful with them. I should have a sheet in front of me, and I never will.
There's only like 10 characters.
And then the Dougs. And then
the Dougs. Oh wait, but did you think? Would you have liked a Captain Crow redemption arc or no?
I would not have wanted a Captain Crow redemption arc in the book. I loved her character in the book. I liked how complex it was. I liked how interesting it was. I would love, like I mentioned earlier, a book or maybe even a short story that followed, because the narrator hinted at a couple times about like what happens to the people who are on the boat. Like he mentioned that one of the Dougs accidentally ends up becoming queen somewhere and stuff like that. So I would love a like book 1.5 or 2.5, and it's a bunch of short stories that tell you what happened to some of the side characters in the books from before. Sometimes fantasy books do that. I'm a big fan of that.
Okay. Do you have a character in mind who I would be?
Oh, yes, I remember.
Wait, or I don't know. I don't know if I have one for you or not.
Do you have one for me, and is it nice, or do you just not have one?
I don't know.
I don't think I'm in the book.
I don't think you are in this book. Am I in this book?
I think you're either Huck or Ford. I think you're one or the other. I think the closest thing I am, what's the zombie guy?
Ulam?
I think that's the closest. I think Ulam is the closest I get in this book.
I don't know. I thought the sorceress, she was... No, like the way she spoke And like, whenever Tress was like talking to her, the sorceress just seemed very like nonchalant, saying to like she's like, oh, I can give you this like flare gun spore that I made, and she's like, so like that's being built like in a different country and it's not mass produced yet, and she was kind of funny.
All right. I'll take it.
Like I didn't hate all this build up of leading up to the sorceress.
I love that she's just typing on her computer. She's just on a spaceship typing on her. I loved the fantasy sci-fi story. I loved building a fantasy in a sci-fi.
It was very all new for me because I don't dip my toes in the sci-fi that much except for like a few things. So I'm mostly like a fantasy guy.
Is Dungeon Crawler Carl not a sci-fi?
Okay, sidetrack. Dungeon Crawler Carl is a series that I read.
He's very into it.
Love Dungeon Crawler Carl.
Loves it.
But that's lit RPG.
I don't know what that is.
It's like role-playing game.
Role-playing game?
Yeah.
Do you pick your own path?
No. But like the main character is going through like an RPG.
Yes, but that still sounds like a sci-fi concept. Moving on.
Moving on. Okay, thank you. That I'd be Huck or Ford. That's awesome. I wouldn't have made any other changes. I do like that answer. What do you have any dislikes?
Actually, I don't really think I had many dislikes. I think. Oh, I am at the note. I'm at the scrubbing note. No, at the beginning it was really. I will say it took me. It did. I have a rule for myself where I give a book 100 pages or 3 strikes, and it did take me to the 100 pages. I think I have a note on like 104 that I'm starting to enjoy it. But getting into the writing style and really absorbing the story did take me a minute. But other than that, I don't really have many critiques of the book.
I think, for me, so I dabble in reading. I read maybe like an average amount. Maybe it's above average because most Americans don't read.
Are you just taking an idea of the island?
Yeah.
Thinking of the island readers?
Yes. So I have a decent amount of like knowledge when it comes to the choice of words, diction, whatever. Vocabulary. Anyway, there were moments in this book where I was like, okay, this guy is definitely a writer of a dozen plus books because he is choosing words I don't know. And I had to Google some. But like thankfully with the Kindle you can just hold it and then it just shows up the definition. Like this word, marmoset. That's like the monkey one. And then this other word, stymied. Stymied.
Yes.
I forgot that one, but I highlighted it. What was it? What does it mean?
Stymied, I believe it means to be stopped or to have like somebody like run interference. Look it, you can click on it.
Oh wait, I can? Oh, I can.
But I believe, if I remember correctly, it means to like run interference.
Prevent or hinder the progress of.
Stymied. I did note that he did use a very large range of words, which I appreciated. There were maybe 1 or 2 I didn't recognize, but it reminded me, I don't know if your school did this, but if you wanted to read a book, you had to read a page and know the definition for all of the words on like the first 2 pages. And if you got to 5 words you couldn't define, you couldn't check out the book.
We only had the STAR test.
That's fair.
Do you have that?
We did have the STAR test. I was not into reading whenever they were doing the STAR test. I wish I was, because I would have destroyed it now at my age.
I would just read Diary of a Wimpy Kid, Captain Underpants.
But no, even though this is like, I suppose technically it's an adult book, I think it's perfect for, I would read this to like a middle schooler. or even a kid. Like if I had like if my nieces or nephews were around, I would read this to them for them to go to sleep to.
I wonder what the audience is exactly too. Now that I'm thinking about it, because there's nothing too like dark or anything.
Which is very different than his normal books. His normal books are they can get pretty dark.
I mean, there's like some intense moments.
It's a pretty light fantasy. I would say this is definitely, there's
like Crow like shooting Soleil, and she shot somebody.
Yeah, and there's some body horror aspects, I suppose, to some of it. But I would say for the most part, this book, like our last one, is in the cozy fantasy genre. But it's not genre aware, which is important.
The big reveal of the entire book was Huck the Rat was actually Tress's lover, Charlie. Not lover.
Which I did not see.
I did not see it either. I had a running theory that maybe she would save Charlie in the end, but with her newfound family, with the crew, she would decide, I don't need a man. I'm a strong, independent woman. I thought that's where the story was going. Like, I don't, yeah, I care about Charlie. I will save him, but I'm not in love with him anymore.
A funny thing to note, I finished this book a couple days before Miguel did. And while I was like making a meal one day, Miguel was like, don't tell me if I'm right, but I have a theory. And he's telling me this and I'm like, uh-huh. And knowing that Charlie's been with her the whole time. I like that Charlie was with her the whole time because that fear of like, whenever we got to the end of the book and Tress was like, I've changed. And what if Charlie hasn't changed at all? What does that mean for me? What does that mean for us? Like if we can't recognize each other anymore? Because that's another thing is she's so, in the book, she's like, I will stay the same. She's like, I have no interest in changing as a person. And she's slowly having to come to terms with the fact that she has. And what does that mean for not only her future, but her relationship to other people? So finding out that Charlie was with her and changing the whole time and that they got to do that adventure together, I thought was really sweet.
I think the reveal part made a little sense.
A little sense.
Yes.
As opposed to a lot of sense or as opposed to no sense?
Like it wasn't out of left field. Because we had learned about the curses, like the sorceress's curses, and like how they affect people. I wish the dragon scene was longer.
I'm telling you, I need a short story.
Because like the dragon stuff was only like 10 pages.
It wasn't a lot. You know, you and I have now consumed 2 different dragon plot lines in the past week, though.
That wasn't a dragon. That was a wyvern.
No, it had 4 wings and 4 legs. It was not a wyvern. You're talking about the book. So 3. No, I was talking about the anime.
Oh, we're watching Witch Hat Atelier right now too.
And there was just a dragon fight.
Great.
Which was also not solved through the traditional dragon slaying manner.
Shout out to Kiefer.
I'm gonna make a bad joke. You can cut this out. What? I keep wanting to jokingly call him Queef.
No, we'll keep it in.
Keep that in?
We'll keep that in.
Okay.
If you know, I'll put up a picture of Kiefer.
Yeah. I watched the video, your little animations where you just
throw the image.
I appreciated that.
I don't know. I don't know what else we should talk about. I feel like good book.
Would recommend.
Oh, I think that's pretty much it. How long has this video been? Oh, it's been like half an hour-ish. I don't know.
That's perfect. You wanted a shorter video.
Yeah. Coming up next, for our next video, we'll be reading, I could be butchering the title, I Who Have Not Known Man. Yes. Or Men. One or the other.
When is Sasha's one coming up?
That one's the one after, before she leaves.
Okay, so is it 3 videos of us and then Sasha?
Yes.
Well, I guess you'll be seeing me again soon.
Yes, and then after that, we'll get a special guest by our good friend Sasha. And her last name's hard to pronounce, so I'm not even gonna try. See you next time, folks. Like and comment, subscribe if you want to see more. Bye.